in iron smelting, salt trade, and agriculture. In the early 1900s, the Pare people increasingly immigrated to Taveta region due to conflicts in the Kilimanjaro region. That the expansion of long-distance trade in ivory and iron saw more Pare traders and skilled blacksmiths moving to Taveta, where they found welcoming environment in the 19th century. That the Pare people have been part of the social fabric of Taveta constituency since time immemorial, contributing significantly to the local and national economies. That in recent years, Kenya has made important strides in efforts to resolve statelessness by recognizing as citizens thousands of other previously stateless people, including those from Makonde and Shona communities and others of Indian descent. That therefore the recognition of Pare people would allow the community to be fully integrated into country's legal framework in consistency with national values and governance principles that prioritize inclusivity, equality, and diversity. That the efforts to have this matter addressed by relevant authorities have been futile, and that the matter presented in this petition is not pending before any court of law or any constitutional or legal body. Therefore, your humble petitioners pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, to one, inquire into the matter with a view of securing urgent recognition of the Pare people of Kenya as a tribe of the Republic of Kenya. Two, make any other recommendations or actions it deems fit in addressing plight of the petitioners, and your petitioners will ever pray. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Bwire. Yes, Honorable Mbaya.
Honorable Speaker, I would like to make some remarks and comments on the petition. First, to support the efforts of the Honorable Bwire, a young and very vibrant MP from Taveta, on the aspect of recognizing the Pare people as Kenyans. The Pare, Honorable Speaker, like the Makonde and the Wanyasa from Malawi and the Pemba, have been Kenyans. A lot of them, when they came during the construction of the railway and the sisal farms, found Kenya their home. Their great-grandfathers were here. Children have been born, and issues have come out of those relationships, those marriages of those Pemba, of those Pare. But today, the Pare have not been recognized, and we have communities like the Rundi who are here, okay, and the Rwandans who are here. They are Kenyans by birth, but they have not been recognized as Kenyans. The 12th Parliament, Honorable Speaker, did us very proud because through a parliamentary process, the Pemba were recognized. And I would like to request the committee, the Petitions Committee, to use this opportunity to bring honor to the 13th Parliament by ensuring that this community, the Pare people that live in Taveta and have lived there continuously, to ensure that they become Kenyans and they're recognized and given citizenship. So, Honorable Speaker, and the committee that will be assigned this petition, I will request them to hasten and as fast as possible ensure that the Pare are recognized as Kenyans. But, Honorable Speaker, I also wish to bring an amendment to the Citizenship Act so that those other communities become very automatic. They don't have to be struggled to be Kenyans, and yet they have continued to be Kenyans. Honorable Speaker, as you assign the committee, please give them the assignment that they hasten so that the Pare who are here in this country become Kenyans. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. I'll commit the petition to the Committee on Public Petitions to report back in 60 days. And Owen Bayer, as a leader in the House, yes, you should, with your colleagues, find a framework of getting people like the Pare. If we recognize our compatriots, the Indian community, as a tribe in Kenya, I don't see why we shouldn't recognize the Pare and any other communities of African descent that are here, so that we can be able to avoid the statelessness of people in this country. At least we have done very well with the Pemba, with the Makonde, with the Nubians, with the Indians. So the progress is good, but you can, on your own motion, also engage this kind of thing.
Brought amendments to the Citizenship Act,
Yes.
which is, I think, before you, but before the Committee of Security, so that we can have a framework to ensure that all those Kenyans that are here can be recognized as Kenyans.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Then, next. Okay. Next.
Order number 5, papers.
Majority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. These very important papers, Honorable Speaker, because they're part of the budget cycle. 1, supplementary estimates 2 for the year 2024-2025 from the National Treasury and Economic Planning and the following accompanying documents: program-based budget, B, recurrent estimates, C, development estimates, volume 1, 2, and 3, and D, memorandum on supplementary estimates number 2. So we lay the supplementary estimate 2 for the financial year 2024-2025, Honorable Speaker. 2, draft public finance management, Teachers Service Commission, staff car loan and mortgage fund regulations 2024 from the Teachers Service Commission. And 3, submission of nominees for the following national government constituencies development fund committees: 1, Bonchari; 2, Bondo; 3, Dagoretti South; 4, Eldama Ravine; 5, Embakasi East; 6, Endebess; 7, Gilgil; 8, Igembe South; 9, Kabondo Kasipul; 10, Kajiado Central; 11, Kajiado West; 12, Kasipul; 13, Kiamba; 14, Kibra; 15, Kiharu; 16, Kipkelion East; 17, Kitui Rural; 18, Kuresoi North; 19, Laikipia West; 20, Lamu East; 21, Lamu West; 22nd, 22, Magarini; 23rd, Makadara; 24, Mandera East; 25, Mandera North; 26, Masinga; 27, Mathioya; 28, Matuga; 29, Mwingi Central; 30, Nambale; 31, Daragwa; 32, Rarieda; 33, Roysambu; 34, Samburu West; 35, Sigor; 36, South Imenti; 37, Sarehe; and 38, Teso South. I beg to lay, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Agriculture.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 18th of February 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock on its consideration of the Agricultural and Livestock Extension Service Bill, Senate Bill number 12 of 2022.
Thank you, Yekon. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. Benja.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 18th February 2025. Reports of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning on its consideration of 1, the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2024, and the Public Finance Management Amendment number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2024. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay.
Thank you. Next.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Jerry Maina.
Apologies, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, thank you. I rise to request for statement regarding the delay in disbursement of the Higher Education Loans Board funds. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education regarding the ongoing funding crisis affecting students in institutions of higher learning across the country. Honorable Speaker, on 20th December 2024, the High Court of Kenya, in Kenya Human Rights Commission and 3 others versus the AG and 4 others, 2024, declared the new higher education funding model unconstitutional and issued an order of prohibition which barred implementation of the model until the government complies with the Constitution and the necessary legal requirements. Thereafter, the Ministry of Education undertook to introduce a new tertiary institution funding model to address the matter. This is expected to be implemented later in the year. Despite the government undertaking to revert to the old Higher Education Loans Board HELB model, there has been an apparent lack of commitment to timely disbursement of funds to students. This contravenes the provisions of Article 43(1) of the Constitution, which guarantee the right of every person to education. At present, thousands of students continuing with their studies face financial distress as they are unable to pay tuition fees, which has left them locked out of examinations. This has triggered unrest in universities across the country, with students staging protests and, in other cases, lecturers boycotting examinations. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. 1. The total amount of funds disbursed by the National Treasury under the Higher Education Loans Board HELB model, including specific dates of these disbursements. 2. The total number of students who have benefited from the disbursed funds since November 2024, and the measures put in place to ensure timely disbursements of funds to prevent future disruptions in learning. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Melly, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Honorable Speaker, 2 weeks is very far. The information that the honorable member is asking is very urgent, very important.
Well done. Wednesday next week.
So I want to bring it, I think Tuesday next week.
Tuesday,
yes.
You'll be ready?
I'll be ready with it.
Tuesday, 2:30.
Yes, thank you.
Mashua Waithaka, all chairpersons should be like that. Mashua Waithaka. Give the mic to Mashua.
Yes. Thank you, Chair, Speaker. Request for statement regarding land parcels erroneously listed by the National Land Commission. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands regarding an erroneous classification of 2 parcels of land belonging to Mr. Stephen Shege as illegal alienated government land. Honorable Speaker, on the 17th July 2017, the National Land Commission, NLC, with the Kenya Gazette, volume CX-1X, number 97, listed several parcels of land as illegal alienated government land and ordered that their titles be revoked. Among them were 2 parcels of land in Kiambu County, land with house block 2/80 and land with house block 2/81 belonging to Mr. Stephen Shege of ID number 0551205, which illegally acquired in 2006 and 2007 respectively. Since then, he has consistently remitted required land rates to Kiambu County government without any dispute or challenge over the legitimacy of his ownership, which evidences rightfully ownership. The arbitrary revocation of his title deeds by NLC amounts to deprivation of property by the government, which violates the provisions of Article 40 of the Constitution. Despite numerous appeals to the National Land Commission to rectify this error, no corrective action has been taken. The situation raises concerns regarding fairness and reliability of land administration process in the country. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands on the following. The reasons for the cancellation of title deeds number block 2/80 and block 2/81 in Kiambu County belonging to Mr. Stephen Shege by a Gazette notice number 6864 of 17 July 2017, despite his lawful acquisition and payment of land rates to the government. 2. Report on the status of revocation of the erroneous Gazette notice to restore the land ownership rights to Mr. Stephen Shege. And 3. The specific implementation timelines when the National Land Commission will resolve the error, including reassurance of valid title deeds to Mr. Stephen Shege. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Nyamoko. How much time do you need to bring a response? Give him the mic.
2 weeks, Honorable Speaker.
2 weeks, so that. Joseph Gitari. Honorable Joseph Gitari, Kirinyaga Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I like to request a statement regarding the management of Kisho Rawanawake Savings and Credit Cooperative Society Limited. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson Departmental Committee on Trade and Industry and Cooperative regarding the management of Kisho Rawanawake Savings and Credit Cooperative Society Limited. Honorable Speaker, Kisho Rawanawake Savings and Credit Society (SACCO) Limited was established in the year 2001 with the objective of empowering women to actively engage in economic decision-making. Initially rooted in Embu and Kirinyaga counties, the SACCO has grown to include thousands of members from across the country and boost a substantial capital base. However, in the recent past, concerns have emerged among members regarding the operation of the SACCO, especially following the unfortunate passing on by the coordinator, Mrs. Christine Gary. Since our demise, there has been a breakdown of communication from the new management despite repeated requests from members for updates on the governance and financial status of the SACCO. This has caused anxiety among members, particularly noting that prevalence in financial management reported in various cooperative societies in the country. Honorable Speaker, it is...
Order, Honorable Dena, can you walk back to where you've come from? You have been here for now 2.5 years. You know what to do. Honorable Bensouda, can you induct him on what to do? Go on, Gitari.
Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperative on the following. 1. The current status of Kisho Rawanawake Savings and Credit Society Limited, including financial and registration status with the SACCO Society Regulatory Authority, SASLA. Number 2, measures that the Ministry of Cooperative and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise, MSMEs, development has put in place to ensure that the SACCO complies with the established regulation, particularly in financial reporting and holding of regular meetings. Number 3, Speaker, the steps taken by the Ministry to enhance governance and oversight of the cooperative in the country to protect the members' savings. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Gitare. Chair, Trade, Gakuya. Vice Chair. How much time do you require?
2 weeks.
2 weeks it
Thank
is. Thank you. Go back to order number 2.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, before I make some short communication, allow me to acknowledge the presence of a delegation of 5 staff from the Office of the Leader of Opposition of the Parliament of Uganda, sitting in the Speaker's gallery to observe the House proceedings. The delegation is on a benchmarking visit at the National Assembly to foster knowledge exchange and share parliamentary experience with our staff in the National Assembly. On my own behalf and that of the National Assembly, I welcome the delegation to the National Assembly and wish them well during their visit. In the public gallery, honorable members, I acknowledge the presence of the following institutions: Pan-African Christian University from Roysambu, Nairobi, Mathwata Secondary School from Masinga, Machakos, Kiambere School Complex from Bere North, Embu, St. Clair Girls High School, Gatitu from Gatundu South, Kiambu, Gilgil Day Secondary School, Gilgil, Nakuru. On behalf of all of us, Mother Wangari has asked me to acknowledge a school from her constituency, do so for all the rest.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I must say that this session is very encouraging to find that our schools are back in full force. We are able to host very many students in the galleries so that they can be able to observe the proceedings of this house. It also helps us to actually realize that we are pace setters and we have to actually be good examples for the youngsters that we host here every time. But Mr. Speaker, as I welcome all the students, allow me to pay special tribute to Gilgil Day Secondary School, one of the biggest day schools in Gilgil, hosting over 1,000 kids, Mr. Speaker, even without Form 1s. And there are so many such that even tomorrow we'll have another delegation of the same school. I want to just take the opportunity to welcome to the house and to actually encourage them, because we are only here for a while. It will be them sitting on these seats in the next few years to come. So on behalf of all of us and for all the school students that are visiting, I want to take this opportunity to welcome them to the house. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Members on their feet, take your seats. Richard Yegon, take your seat. Mrembo, take your seat. Honorable members, I've got two communications to make. The first one is an update on reconstitution of lapsed committees. I've been notified by the leader of the majority party and the leader of the minority party that the committee on selection is yet to conclude the nomination of members to the lapsed committees. Further, the leaders note that consultations are ongoing and will be concluded soon to allow for the reconstitution of the specified committees. Honorable members, noting that the budget policy statement, PBS, and the medium-term debt strategy, which was laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 13th February 2025, has specified timelines. I direct that awaiting the reconstitution of committees, the BPS be processed by the liaison committee, similarly noting that the supplementary estimates 2 for the 2024-2025 financial year have just been laid on the table of the House. I also refer the same to the liaison committee for processing. I thank you. Second communication, honorable members, is to notify the House of the demise of 2 members of Parliament, a senator and a member of the National Assembly, the member for Malava constituency, the Honorable Moses Malulu Injendi, and the senator for Baringo, the Honorable William Kipkiror Cheptumo. Honorable members, it's with immense sorrow that I hereby notify members of the National Assembly and the entire Parliament fraternity of the untimely demise of two of our colleagues, one in the National Assembly and the other in the Senate. First, honorable members, I report with a heavy heart the passing on of the member for Malava constituency, the Honorable Moses Malulu Injendi MP, which occurred yesterday, Monday, 17th February 2025, while he was undergoing treatment at the Aga Khan Hospital in Nairobi. The late Honorable Injendi was born on 9th October 1966 in Lugusi village, Malava constituency. He began his education at Lugusi Primary School in 1974 and completed there in 1981. Thereafter, he joined St. Ignatius Mukumu Boys High School in 1982 and completed his O-levels there in 1985. He proceeded to St. Peter's Mumias Boys High School for his A-levels and completed in 1987. He later joined Egerton University for his undergraduate studies, graduating in 1991 with a Bachelor of Arts, Economics and Sociology. His passion for education pushed him to further his studies and attained a Master of Arts Sociology degree from University of Nairobi in 1996. At the time of his demise, he was pursuing a Doctor of Philosophy at the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University in the Republic of South Africa. The late Honorable Injendi has a vast career in life, having worked at the Catholic University of Eastern Africa from 2001 as a deputy registrar and later as a lecturer. As an educationist, the late Injendi championed education reforms and dedicated his time to serve as a chairperson and member of boards of governors of various schools, including Lugusi Secondary School. The late Injendi joined elective politics in 2013 when he successfully vied for and won the parliamentary seat as a member for Malava constituency of the Maendeleo Democratic Party MDP ticket, a seat he retained for 3 consecutive terms. Until his untimely demise, he was serving his 3rd term in Parliament and was the vice chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education, where he played a critical role in the formulation of policies to improve the education sector. He was also a member of the Committee on Parliamentary Broadcasting and the Library, where he contributed to the committee's work in its report on enhancing reporting of parliamentary business on online platforms. The report was adopted by this House in September 2024 and is being progressively implemented. The late Honorable Injendi will also be remembered for his contributions in supporting reforms in the sugar sector, including supporting the enactment of the Sugar Act 2024. In the 12th Parliament, the Honorable Injendi also served in the Departmental Committee on Education and Research, the Departmental Committee on Labour and Social Welfare, Transport, Public Works and Housing, and the Committee on Regional Integration. In his first stint, which was the 11th Parliament, the late Injendi was a member of the Departmental Committee on Education, Research and Technology, and the Joint Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity. His diligent contribution towards the fulfillment of the mandates of the committees in which he served since 2013 was immense. The late Injendi was a dedicated and selfless leader who had passion for reforms in education and other aspects of social welfare. Of note was his passion for the welfare of village elders. Having been raised by a father who served as a village elder, the late Injendi always wished for structured integration of village elders in the national government administration with appropriate remunerations. Consequently, honorable members, when he finally got the platform on the floor of this House, as a member in the 11th Parliament, the late Injendi actualized his desire by introducing a motion on recognition of compensation of village elders, which was adopted by the House in 2016. The motion urged the government to facilitate village elders with a monthly honorarium to facilitate them meet their logistical costs and encourage them to uphold their dedication to serving the community. Later on in 13th Parliament, he escalated the motion to a bill by sponsoring the National Government Coordination Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 25 of 2023, so as to give the motion the force of law. The bill, which seeks to recognize village elders who perform national government function at the village level administrative units, is currently awaiting consideration at the Committee of the Whole House in honor of his persistent vision of creating a framework for recognition of village elders in the national government administration hierarchies. I urge the House to prioritize the bill for enactment into law. Honorable members, besides his legislative role, the late Honorable Njendi was a devout Catholic and an active member of the Catholic Members of Parliament caucus since he joined Parliament. The late Njendi was proud of his Catholic faith and was always visibly wearing his rosary at all times. Indeed, in the year 2023, he requested and received a special rosary right from the Vatican, blessed by the Pope Francis. The late Honorable Njendi was unique for his role of thumb practice of always connecting his faith with legislative work. He is reported to have always sought to understand the biblical and Catholic foundational teachings on all matters that were before the House for consideration, to inform his position and contribution of them. Honorable members, in the passing on of Njendi, a humble leader who served his constituents and the nation with unwavering dedication and integrity, has rested. On behalf of the Parliamentary Service Commission, all members and staff of the National Assembly, and indeed on my own behalf, I convey our heartfelt condolences to the family of the late Honorable Njendi, his relatives, friends, and the people of Malava constituents. As the National Assembly, we assure them of our support during this period of great sorrow. Honorable members, I also wish to report with profound sorrow the untimely demise of one of our colleagues in the Senate, the Honorable William Kipkiror Cheptumo MP, who was the Senator for Baringo County. The late William Cheptumo passed away on Saturday, 16th February 2025, while receiving treatment at the Nairobi Hospital. The late Senator William Cheptumo was born on 25th December 1967 in Baringo County. He attended Maregut Primary School before joining Bartolimo Secondary School and later Cabernet High School for his O-level and A-level. Thereafter, he pursued a Bachelor of Laws degree at the University of Nairobi from 1988 to 1991 and a postgraduate diploma in law at the Kenya School of Law in 1992, prior to his admission to the bar as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Senator Cheptumo began his legal career as a legal officer at the Industrial and Commercial Development Corporation, ICDC, in 1993 and left ICDC in 1995. He then joined the Central Bank of Kenya as a legal officer in 1995 and left in 1998 to establish his own firm, Cheptumo and Kamban Advocates, which he ran from 1998 to 2007. During this time, he gained vast experience on practicing law, establishing himself as an astute advocate. The late Senator Cheptumo ventured into politics in 2007 when he successfully contested for the Baringo North constituency parliamentary seat on the Orange Democratic Movement ODM party ticket. During his first term of parliament between 2008 and 2013, I had the privilege of working alongside him in the executive when he served as the Assistant Minister for Justice, National Cohesion, and Constitutional Affairs while I held the Foreign Affairs portfolio as the Minister. Senator Cheptumo not only demonstrated exceptional dedication and a deep understanding of legal matters, but also applied his legal knowledge in the running of government affairs under his charge. The late Senator Cheptumo was re-elected for a second term in 2013 in the 11th Parliament. He served as the chairperson of the Committee on Delegated Legislation, a member of the House Business Committee, and a member of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs. Additionally, he was a member of the Parliamentary Pensions Management Committee. As the chairperson of the Committee on Delegated Legislation, the late Senator Cheptumo will be remembered for superintending the consideration of many statutory instruments that were necessary to operationalize the acts of Parliament that were enacted to actualize the 2010 Constitution. The late Senator Cheptumo was once again re-elected to represent Baringo North constituency in the 12th Parliament, making him one of the longest-serving members of this House. He served as the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs, where his legal and immense parliamentary expertise were instrumental in guiding key legislative processes and the consideration of policies that were referred to his committee. In 2002, honorable members, the late Senator Cheptumo successfully contested for the Baringo County Senate seat. Until his demise, he was serving as the chairperson of the Senate Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations. Additionally, he was an active member of the Senate Liaison Committee, the Senate Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee, and Land, Environment and Natural Resources. He was a member of the Ad Hoc Committee on the Proliferation of Religious Organizations and the Circumstances leading to the deaths of more than 95 people in Shakahola in Kilifi County. Honorable members, in his passing on, Parliament and indeed the country has lost a transformative servant leader. On behalf of the National Assembly, the Parliamentary Service Commission, and indeed on my own behalf, I pay tribute to Senator William Cheptumo and extend our deepest condolences to his family and the people of Baringo County. His death is a big loss to Parliament, to the people of Baringo County, and the nation at large, which he served with dedication and humility. Honorable members, condolence books have been opened both at the National Assembly and the Senate receptions, main Parliament buildings, where honorable members and parliamentary staff may record their condolence messages to the families of the departed members for Malava and the Senator for Baringo, respectively. In line with the Parliamentary Service Commission's bereavement policy, I have constituted an ad hoc funeral committee to help with the funeral arrangements. The committee comprises of the following members in relation to Honorable Malulu Njendi: Honorable Bernard Shinal MP as the chairperson, Honorable Julius Meli CBS MP, Honorable Emmanuel Wangwe CBS MP, and Honorable Ellis Muhanda. I have also requested the Speaker of the Senate to nominate 2 senators to the ad hoc committee. I have also appointed the following members to work with our Senate colleagues in coordinating Parliament's involvement in the funeral arrangement for the late Senator William Cheptumo: the Honorable T.J. Kajwang CBS MP, the Honorable Joseph McClap MP, the Honorable Florence Jematia MP. Honorable members are therefore encouraged to liaise with the ad hoc committees on matters relating to the funeral and interment of our departed colleagues. In connection with the passing on of the Vice Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education of this House, I also wish to inform the House of the demise of another educationist in the country, Mr. Johnson Matheka Nzioka, the National Chairperson of the Kenya Primary Schools Heads Association, KEPSHA. The late Mr. Nzioka, who was also the head teacher of Donholm Primary School in Nairobi City County, succumbed to his injuries he sustained in a road accident that occurred on Sunday, 16 February 2025 in Athi River along Nairobi-Mombasa Road. The late Mr. Nzioka, who is a long-serving and distinguished educationist with a career spanning over 39 years, holds a bachelor's degree in education from East African University and a diploma in education management from the Kenya Institute of Education Management, KEMI. In these very many years as a career teacher, he has been a head teacher for 24 years. He has made immense contribution to the education sector in various capacities, including, as I've mentioned, a head teacher for 24 years and a member of various councils such as the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, the Education Task Force, the International Confederation of Principals, and the National Examination Appeals Tribunal. In recognition of his dedication and exceptional service to primary education, he was recognized and awarded the Head of State Commendation, HSC, in 2021. Honorable members, in honor of our departed colleagues, the Honorable Moses Malulu Njendi, MP, and the Honorable Senator William Kipkiror Cheptumo MP, and the KEPSHA Chairman, I request that we all stand and observe a moment of silence. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Amen. Honorable members, I put this communication to come after the other orders because many members asked me to give them an opportunity to eulogize their colleagues. I'll allocate 1 hour to this from now to 4:15, and each member who gets an opportunity will have a maximum of 2 minutes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to join you in condoling with the families of the late Cheptumo and the late Malulu Ijendi. Honorable Speaker, I happen to have joined this House at the same time with the two members in the 11th Parliament, and I can attest to what you have said in your communication, that the two honorable members, the Senator for Baringo and the member for Malava, are indeed very dedicated public servants and leaders in their respective constituencies. Honorable Cheptumo, Honorable Speaker, when he represented Baringo North and served in this House, serving all the way as the chair of the Delegated Legislation Committee.
Order. This is a solemn moment where we have lost two of your colleagues at the same time. I would expect that you give it the solemnity that it deserves. Go on, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I was saying Honorable Cheptumo served also as a member and later chair of the Delegated Legislation Committee and served with a lot of diligence as a chair of that committee, and those who were in the 12th Parliament with us, we remember the dedication with which the Honorable Cheptumo served this House as chair of the Delegated Legislation Committee, considering numerous regulations for approval in the House, and did so with a lot of intellect. Honorable Cheptumo, Honorable Speaker, happened to be a very good lawyer, and I was privileged, Honorable Speaker, to learn later after I served with him here that he had also worked with my wife, who was then working in the bank, and Cheptumo happened to be in one of the panels for that bank. And my wife attested when we finally met at some point somewhere together with Honorable Cheptumo. She attested how diligent Honorable Cheptumo was in conveyancing and how much even those who worked in the bank trusted the work of the late Honorable Cheptumo. And is indeed a great loss, not just to his family, to the people of Baringo County, especially the people of Baringo North, whom he represented in this House for 2 terms as their Member of Parliament, but also the greater people of Baringo, who he served as their Senator. It is sad that we have lost him at a time when the people of Baringo needed him the most. Honorable Speaker, I was also privileged to have served with the Honorable Malulu Ijendi from the 11th Parliament, when we first joined this House together. And Malulu, the late Malulu, Honorable Speaker, again is a leader who exemplified himself as a servant, true servant of the people, and a true believer. Honorable Speaker, many members will bear me witness that the late Malulu never left his rosary wherever he went. And those who have served with the late Malulu in this House, those of the Catholic faith, will remember that Malulu Ijendi at all times had his rosary with him.